Hi friends, Juan the Yarn Addict here for a tutorial on the open scallop stitch. This particular pattern goes in multiples of 6 plus 1 for the foundation chain. Literally just giving you the basics before we start the tutorial. It is a very easy tutorial. You're going to love it. It goes fast and yeah, there's texture. This particular yarn that I used was an 80-20 blend. 80% wool, 20% acrylic, so there's lots of fuzz. I'm just attributing that to the wool. It feels amazing. So, but anyway, let's get started, guys. Okay, friends, so we are going to be doing an open scallop stitch tutorial, and yeah, let us begin. So this particular stitch calls for multiples of 6 plus 1 for the foundation. So let's go ahead and do our slip knot. And then what we're going to do is, for tutorial purposes, we are going to chain 18 plus 1. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, get in there, and 18. There's 18, and then we will do one more for the foundation. Okay, so now the next row here is something that I do just for stability. This next row we're going to do all single crochet. So the second chain from the hook, which is this one right here, we're going to insert our hook and do a single crochet, and then we're going to do a single crochet all the way down until we get to the end of the row here. It's pretty straightforward in every stitch, just like that. Go ahead and do that, and I will meet you at the end of this row. Okay, I am approaching the end of the row here, so I'm just going to plug in the last of these single crochets, and it should look like this. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is chain 3 and turn your work. Okay, row 2. What we need to do is skip 3 stitches, and in the 4th stitch we're going to do 2 doubles, chain 2 doubles. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's where we're going to insert our hook, right in there. Okay, so loop over, insert our hook to do a double crochet. Let's do another one. So it's 2 doubles, a chain, and 2 doubles. Okay, it should look like this. Okay, so the next step now is we're going to do 2 double crochets together, but from 4 stitches apart. So in order to do that, what we need to do is loop over, insert our hook, pull the yarn through, and only go through 2 loops. Now we skip 3 stitches, and in this 4th stitch here, we're going to just insert our hook, pull the yarn through, and then perform the double as normal. Okay, and so the next step after that is in the very next stitch we are going to do the same as back here. So 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 double crochets. And it should look like that. Okay, that's how our work is looking so far. Okay, so now the next step is, now that we've done our 2 chain 1 2, is we're going to do the 2 doubles together. So we're going to do half of a double, just like that, and then we're going to skip 3 stitches, and in this 4th stitch we're going to just insert our hook, pull the yarn in, wrap over, and then perform the regular double, just like that. Okay. And now in this next stitch, what we need to do is we are going to do the same thing as this. 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles. So let's go ahead and do that. 2 double crochets all in the same hole there. Chain 1 and 2 doubles. Okay, so it should look like that. And then you should have just these stitches left here. Okay, now what you're going to do is you are going to take these 2 stitches left and combine them into one. So let me just show you here. You're going to do just like that. Let me start over again. You're going to loop over, insert your hook into the stitch, pull the yarn through, wrap over and only go through 2. And in that last stitch there, you're just going to insert your hook, pull the yarn through, wrap through 2, wrap through 2. And that's what that needs to look like. Okay? So let's lay this out and take a look. Okay. So what you're seeing here is normal. Just imagine if it was just the chain at the bottom, it would be like crazy. So in any case, those are the first 2 rows there. We're going to continue because I want you to see what this looks like. So for the next row, well, before we get to the next row actually, what we need to do is chain 3. And that's going to be the case for every row. You're going to chain 3 and then turn your work. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we are always going to go to the stitch right before the chain. So right there. That's every row. Once you chain 3 and turn your work, you're going to look for that stitch right there. And in that stitch, what you're going to have to do is just a double crochet. Okay? Just a double crochet. Just like that. And now in your chain space here, what you're going to do is your 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Just like that. It looks wonky because one side has 3 doubles and then the other side has 2. But don't you worry about that. In terms of like where the stitches are actually laying, it's separate. It's in its own space. So however it lays, it's fine. Just make sure you have the stitches in the right place and everything will fall into place. So now what we need to do is we need to do our 2 double crochets together. So in order to do that, we are going to focus on this very next stitch after the chain space. So we're going to wrap over, insert our hook, pull the yarn through, and only go through 2. And now we're going to look on this side here where the next chain space is. Okay, and we need to focus on that stitch before the chain space. We're going to insert our hook, pull the yarn through, and perform the double as usual. And it just closes it right up. And now in the chain space, per usual, 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Okay. And now we're going to do our 2 double crochets together. So always it's the stitch after your 2, 1, 2 here. You're always going to look for the stitch right after. Okay? So you're going to loop over, insert your hook, pull through, wrap over and only go through 2. So basically half of a double crochet. Okay? And then you're going to finger over and look for the next chain space over here. And your aim is to go for the stitch right before the chain space. And you're going to insert your hook, grab that yarn, and perform your double crochet per normal. Okay, and then in your chain space, as is before, you're just going to do 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, just like that. Okay, as it builds, it starts to look very nice, actually. Okay, so now what we need to do is, we're approaching the end of this third row here, and per the pattern, the next step is to go for the stitch after our 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, which actually is going to be this stitch right here. So we're going to do half of a double crochet right in there. Okay, just like that. And then to end the row, what we need to do is insert our hook in the third chain. So we chain 3, right? We're going to insert our hook right in here after we loop over, of course. Or no, I'm sorry, we're not looping over. We're inserting our hook. Got ahead of myself. Pull through and perform the double as usual. And that's what that should look like. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next row. So for row 4, and, well, let's chain 3. Every row gets a chain 3. Turn our work. And then now, what we need to do is look for the chain space. The stitch before the chain space gets a double crochet. Just like that. And now in your chain space, it's 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Okay, and then now in the stitch below, the stitch next to your 2, 1, 2, you're going to do half of a double crochet, just like that. Only go through 2, and then finger over for the next chain space, and insert your hook in the stitch before the chain space. Pull your yarn through and perform your double as normal. Okay, so 2 double crochets, chain 1, and then 2 double crochets. Okay, and now we're going to do the 2 double crochets together. So we're going to wrap over, insert our hook, grab the yarn, and only go through 2. So you're performing your double crochet as normal, but you're only going through 2 at the end. And then you're going to finger over for the next chain space and go for the stitch right before the chain space. Insert your hook, grab the yarn, and perform your double as usual. Go through 2, go through 2. Okay, now let's do this last chain space here, which gets 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles. All right, just like that. And now we're close to finishing the row here. So now what we need to do is do half of a double crochet, just like that. And then in the third chain space, we're going to insert our hook, just like that. Grab the yarn and perform a double as usual. Okay. And that's what that's looking like. Now I am going to pause the video and I'm going to do several more rows to kind of give you guys a better view of what the open scallop stitch looks like beyond just these few rows. Okay, so just sit tight. For you it's going to be a second, but for me it's going to be a little longer than a few seconds. Okay, so just sit tight, I'll be right back. Okay friends, so I'm back after several rows here, and I just wanted to go over the pattern again just for reinforcement before we end this tutorial. I just want to make extra sure that you're comfortable with this stitch. So as per normal, I've chained 3 and I've turned my work. And so now what I need to do is a double crochet in that first chain before the chain space. And then now I do 2 doubles. Oops. And then I chain 1 and then 2 more doubles, all in the same chain space. So there's the initial double of the row, and then there's that, and then the 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles. And then next we're going to do half of a double crochet, the very next stitch, just like that. We leave 2 loops on the hook, and then we finger over for the chain space and aim for the stitch right before the chain space. Insert that hook, grab the yarn, and complete the double like so. Then go in to the next chain space and do 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, like so, like that. Okay, and then now perform a half double like so right after. Finger over, insert your hook into the stitch before the chain space, grab that yarn and finish out that double just like that. And then 2 double crochets, chain 1, and we're finishing up the row just like that. Okay, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, and now to finish the row we need to do half of a double crochet just like that, and then find the 3rd chain. It's usually like right there. Every time it's the same. It looks the same every row. So we're going to insert our hook, grab that yarn, and perform a double just like that. And that, my friends, is the open scallop stitch. It's very versatile. You can use it you can use this stitch for scarves, for afghans, you name it. You can use it for that. It's got a little bit of a ridge to it, which I really like. It's not flat, so there's texture. There's texture there, and nice overall pattern. So if you like this content, hit like, give me a subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Hit that bell for notifications to stay tuned with all things going on with Juan the Yarn Addict. And yeah, so that sums this up. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. And until then, I shall see you on the next tutorial. Take care, guys.